In this video, we're just going to do another couple examples of dividing fractions. Dividing fractions does tend to be one of the most tricky parts of operations with fractions. So we'll just do two more examples of these. There will be some other examples that you can find in the optional viewing video if you need a couple more examples to step through, but we'll end with these two. First one, 10 divided by 5/3. Remember again, you've already talked about this in class by this point, but when we're dividing fractions, there's three things we want to do. We want to keep the first fraction or the first term, change the division to a multiplication, and then flip the second fraction. Keep, change, flip is the three-word phrase that you should have in mind. So we're going to keep the 10, we're going to change that to times, and I'm going to flip the second fraction to be 3/5. So I now go from 10 divided by 5/3 to 10 times 3/5. Now remember that when we have a whole number, when we have a number that isn't a fraction, we can make it be a fraction by writing it over 1. So I'm going to change that 10 to actually be a 10 over 1. 10 over 1 times 3 over 5. Now I can go ahead and multiply those. 10 times 3 is 30. 1 times 5 is 5. And 30 divided by 5, or 30 over 5, same thing, reduces to 6. And so that is my final answer there. 6 or 6 over 1 if you prefer, but most teachers will probably want you to write it as the 6, just to show that it is a whole number that it turns into. Same thing for the second one, -2/9 divided by 9/2. Don't shortcut this really quickly. Don't see 2/9, 9/2 and immediately cancel everything. That's a common mistake. Think about it. Do the process. Even if you think you know what the answer is, step it through the process until you're absolutely positively sure that you're not making any mistakes. Again, we keep the first fraction, -2/9. We change the division to a multiplication, and then we flip the second fraction. And now you can see why nothing is actually canceling. Nothing is canceling at all. In fact, we end up with exactly the same fraction. When we multiply them, I get the negative there. 2 times 2 is 4, and 9 times 9 is 81. So -4 over 81 is what we end up with as our final answer there. Don't just shortcut. Don't shortcut your brain into thinking that we end up with a simplified version like this. That we end up with everything canceling. Actually go through the process using the keep, change, flip procedure and work through the problem until you get to the end.